he's going to be taken down inside the 10 at about the 8-yard line.
One guarantee I can absolutely make is that all week in preparation, the coach kept telling his team, we're on the road, don't do anything to bring the crowd into it, and that's exactly what they just did. A bad return, and now the home team crowd, they are fired up.
Here's Ekeler to begin the drive. And that's not the start that he was looking for, as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. Once more, here's Ekeler. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 20. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Running on first down, Ekeler. Nifty move. Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5. This defense for the Steelers, they were very good in the win over Dallas a week ago.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
On second down, Ekeler. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
And some room to roam now. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. So not a lineman, but the tight end instead this time, drawing the holding call.
And more what you're getting with tight ends are guys who are much more receiver than blocker. They may be willing, but that might not be their thing. Oftentimes, they'll be the ones getting the penalties.
He sets to fire deep. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And some space here. And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football.
A part of why they came to this week with a winning record is that they feed off of mistakes like this, and now it's a prime opportunity. Just moments in the game to get a short field touchdown off of their big defensive play. Now on the other side, they were already the underdog in this one. They just made their uphill battle just a little bit tougher.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. So, Charles, you look at this offense, and really on paper, at least, a great situation for them upcoming. They're unbeaten on the year, an open week coming up after this. So I guess my question, any worry that maybe this is coming at the wrong time?
Oh, definitely I would be worried about this game, maybe more than any other on the schedule, because I know my guys are looking ahead to that open week. I've got to keep them focused on the task ahead, make sure they take care of business in this one. Otherwise, you're talking about a double trap. The trap of losing the game and then having the open week and having to stew about it.
That's now consecutive 5-yard carries to pick up the first down. The Steelers at a perfect 5-0 here to begin the campaign. And they've certainly found their groove of late, winners of 5 in a row.
And this team is absolutely playing their best football right now. This is the best that we've seen them play in a long time, partner. Sky's the limit as far as they're concerned. Their confidence really soaring.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Back to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Brandon, watching their tape from last week, I saw plenty of plays like we just saw there, forcing incompletions. It was key in their win last week. They're hoping the same thing happens this time out, too.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. And he's brought down short. 2 yards there, needed 4. So he is able to turn that into positive yardage, but I think it's fair to say that those are not the shots you're wanting your quarterback to have to absorb.
And he has to know sometimes when to say when. You have to know when to give yourself up, and let's face it, not easy for these guys to do because they're competitors as well. But sometimes you do learn your lesson the hard way, as he did there.
They run for it with Harris. And he's got the 1st down as he gets it to the 8. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. Remember, that was 4th and a full 2 yards. There's a big difference between that and 4th and maybe 6 inches or a yard.
Yeah, you're exactly right, because when it's that 6 inches, you just fall forward and you pick it up, right? You just go quarterback sneak. But having to move bodies, that means you actually have to execute because they know what you're going to do. How are you going to make the right play call and get everyone into the right spot and win at the line of scrimmage? That's what they did there.
Nothing on 1st down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. Hands it off out of the gun. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it.
And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. A great effort there. Touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Steelers take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And that is off the left upright. It's no good. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. Fielded just outside the goal line. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Up the middle with Eckler. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Second and 5. And that's complete downfield to Cooks. And he will finally be taken out of bounds as it's an enormous play there on the final snap of this first quarter. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Out of the gun, Eckler running it. And he's brought down. 50 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. Eckler, touchdown, Houston. So he had the nice run to get him down there. Was stopped just short of the goal line, but they go right back to him, CD, and he delivers to finish the drive off.
A little extra determination there, don't you think, partner? You notice he didn't tap on his helmet and say, get me out after the run down to the end zone. He said, I almost got in. I'm going to get in on my own. I'm staying in. And he carries it across the goal line.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Taken in at the 3. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And they come into this one riding that nice long win streak. And remember, next weekend is an open week for them. So if they can get the win here, a lot of momentum into that time off.
It certainly is. And if you're wondering if anybody's saying, boy, this is coming at a bad time, we want to keep playing, the answer can be yes. Because when teams are on a hot streak, they want to keep going. But what the veterans are telling the young guys in the locker room, an open week is always good, guys. Take it and let's go with it.
Johnson's got it complete. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. And you probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. He'll look to throw. Looking deep downfield. And in for the Steelers touchdown. George Pickens, 53 yards. And the Steelers are able to move back in front. This time, the extra point up and good. And that'll make this a 6-point game. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And, Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Houston. A great play there. 78 yards. And the Texans strike quickly here to tie up the ball game. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They're sitting in first place in the division. They've got an open date on the calendar coming up next week. So, Charles, you and I were talking about this before the game. This one for them kind of has some extra importance.
It certainly does, because if they can get the win here and pad their lead a bit or at least keep pace, then they can really kick their feet up and say a job well done at this point and not have to worry about ball at all until they're back in their facility, back in their meeting room, getting ready for the next game.
From the gun, he'll hand this off. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Flush to his right. And he's got room. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. A big play there with his second touchdown here in this first half, as his guys have now moved out in front. Boswell for the extra point. And again, it's no good. A few boo birds coming out as he's missed his second extra point here in the first half. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Hook up of 15 yards there. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left. On play action, they'll throw. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And he takes it back to the house. A fumble recovery for a Steelers score. And he has great speed, defensive back speed. Once he got it and took off, there was no catching it.
And I know every team tells you to hustle no matter what the play, but there was no chance of catching him. Maybe if it had been a defensive tackle running with the ball, but not in this case.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And the lead now stands at 13. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest. You get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2.
Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. Touchdown. A great effort there with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Texans have got it back to within a score. And oh, it's no good. For the second time now in this first half, he's missed an extra point. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up.
When you're lateral to the line of scrimmage, linebackers keep those shoulders square so they can go up and down. But when it's time to go, turn your shoulders just like a running back. Get through the line and hit the runner in the backfield.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Airing this one out for Evans. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. On 4th down, here's Presley Harvin on to punt. Taken from just outside the 30. 43-yard punt, but they get 9 back on the return. And the Texans will take over. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking,
thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. And the Steelers will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line.
Partner, have you ever heard the story of Icarus in mythology? That's the guy who flew too close to the sun and had his wings melted. That was our guy right there. He keeps pressing it and pressing it. Finally, on that throw, he paid the price with that turnover.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He'll buy some time right. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
I like what he's shown me in this game because he certainly has understood when it was time to scramble with the ball. On this play, he shows me that he knows when to throw it away as well.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. They'll set up a throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back.
And I think the ball's out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. Well, CD, that's the second time this half they've put it on the carpet. Now, the first one they lost. Good news here, it doesn't cost them.
They do say that things even out in the course of a ball game, so you mentioned they lost the first one. This time, able to retain possession, but they can't get into this habit. The ball can't continue to go on the ground.
That one thrown away from the pocket. The officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. They're going to look to throw. That's complete to Austin Eckler, the running back. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. High throw, but he makes the catch. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. They go play action here on first down. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half.
Traditionally, as a defense, your number one job, stop the run. But in today's football, it's impacting the opposing quarterback. Make him uncomfortable. And so far, they've not been able to do that.
Not at all. He's been really comfortable in the pocket. 3 touchdown passes already.
So that could be an important first sack if they do want to turn things around.
And now this throw incomplete, and that is how this first half will come to an end. So we reach halftime here in the Steel City with the Steelers on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And it'll come out to the 25. Austin not going to try and return it. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. But Charles, for them, pretty good first half on the ground. They had some success running the ball in quarters 1 and 2, and they've got the lead now, a chance to expand upon that lead here with their first drive in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, believe it or not, you and I have noticed that this great game of football has shifted towards pass first, run second. So for me, it's really nice to see some of these teams keeping the ground game as a big component of their offense, and it's working pretty well for them now. And let's face it, they can continue to do damage with it. And in addition, it sets up the pass game really well for them too.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. 51 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game. They've got the lead early here in the 3rd quarter, and runs like that are how they established that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And the screen unsuccessfully dropped it.
As soon as he leaked out and began his route, someone on the defensive side broke with him and arrived just in time to separate him from another reception. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
And they'll run on the inside handoff.
And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. The Steelers send out their punter now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. This is taken at about the 14. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He'll get this to Eckler. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a 1st down. He's having a big game through the air, and sometimes those smart decisions just dump it off. That's how you continue to have big games through the air.
I agree totally. That's a great analogy, a great way to put it, because he doesn't get too greedy where everything has to be pushed downfield, trying to create big plays that aren't there. You dump it off and take that nice gain, and things add up, and now you have the kind of game he's having.
He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
On the move past the 40, and they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards the play. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. They'll run out of the gun with Eckler. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Meanwhile, the throw here is complete. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. His big day receiving just keeps getting bigger. He's over 200 yards now on the afternoon. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. Touchdown, Texans. Brandon Cooks. A 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Texans are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. No problem there on the extra point. And that will tie our game here in the 3rd. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. We got a brand new ball game, all even after that last touchdown, so every drive now becoming a little more critical here in the second half. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while, get at least 2 first downs, give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Here's 2nd and 8. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. A big play that
time for Pittsburgh. 47 yards.
I don't think we'll ever get enough of watching one-handed catches, and when they pay off, they are spectacular. But how about the times they don't pay off and coaches go, two hands still works.
I know, but they go for them so often now that I'm almost starting to take them for granted.
Yeah, that's unbelievable, isn't it? Because these are sensational type plays.
Especially that one with a defender right there.
Flushed out right. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 12 more yards there and another first down.
And that's a nice throw right there. And I'll tell you what I've seen in recent times and actually watched a presentation in the offseason from a college offensive coordinator that showed about 10 different drills that he runs with his quarterbacks to show them how to get out of the pocket, how to get comfortable when they're doing so, and to make plays under that type of duress. That's an example of what we're seeing in the colleges delivered.
And he lost the football, and the Texans scoop it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And at this stage in the game, sure, you wanted the touchdown. You're already in the red zone, but boy, you squandered a chance to at least get the field goal there. So no points out of this, and we stay tied.
Very disappointed team. No one more disappointed than the kicker who thought he had a chance to be the hero of the day. All they had to do was trot him out on the field. They didn't even give him an opportunity.
72 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. First down, and they stick with Eckler. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10.
It's Eckler again.
He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4. 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Eckler now between the tackles. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Escaping the pressure right. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line.
Well, so much for the 4-minute offense. They were trying to reduce the clock, get in position to win the game, and leave no time for them to come back and catch them. And guess what? They turned the ball over. Yeah, I mean, they had it all set up for themselves, and they let it get away.
He'll get this up to the 47 and brought down there.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
They'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
And partner, in a tie game in the fourth quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars, and he came through with a nice catch right there.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. They'll try the right side with Harris. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
Najee Harris His first rushing touchdown on the year. And the Steelers have broken our tie and have taken a fourth-quarter lead.
Extra point now by Boswell. Now, these have been no picnic for him so far. He's missed 2, but this one is good. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And now, after the touchdown a moment ago, they work from behind in a 7-point game in this fourth quarter. Plenty of time on the clock.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Call that a very strong gain of 24. They'll drop to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
Again, he'll drop to throw.
And able to find Gesicki as tight end. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 32-yard line. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the first down sack. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Oh, and that nearly ended it. That should have been intercepted, but he cannot corral it, and that is a lifeline there with third down coming up.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play, but sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one, weren't able to do that.
He forces one there. It's a potential dagger as it's intercepted. And the Steelers have just about sewn up this football game. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Oh, he shifts past him, and he gets it to the 30 when it's all said and done. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Now it looks like he'll throw here. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. We've seen him escape similar situations earlier in the game and get away for pretty good yardage. At that time, they get him down.
Yeah, they've had enough evidence that he can get away and run for good yardage, haven't they? That time it felt like, okay, enough of this. Let's play it the right way and get him on the ground before he does any damage.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 97 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
They'll go ahead and take the knee here, and the unbeaten season will continue. So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And they were spurred on by a strong performance in that fourth quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the fourth quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for Pittsburgh, they remain as hot as anyone, 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Texans, they can't quite seem to turn things around as they fall into 2-4 now on the year. And now they'll head to the bye week as they'll be back in action in Week 8. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.